Okay, so just to have a recap regarding the valuation of stocks, no? In the preview that I sent you last time, no, we are computing for the value of the stock. Let's see, preferred stock. So to compute for the value of the stock preferred in particular, the formula is D1 all over case of E. No? So we have the piece of O, which is the price of the stock at year zero. And then you have the D1, which is the expected dividend at year one. And then you have the case of E. No? Minsan ginagamit RS, no? Which is the cost of capital o kaya naman required rate of return. Okay, so this one does not have any G because the preferred stock is not growing. So walang growth. And the dividends given to them, no, yung preferred stock, is fixed. No? Hindi katulad ng common stock, nagbabago-bago siya. No? Now, when it comes to common stock, no, ito common stock to in particular, itong tatlo na to, no? And we call it dividend discount model. So for the zero growth stock, for the common stock, the formula is the same with the preferred stock. So it does not have any growth. So you have the D1 all over case of E. O yung again, yung case of E, it may be the RS or the required rate of return or cost of capital. Now,
Sir?
yes?
Sir, good morning po. Sorry for coming in late.
Oo.
Sir, asynchronous po tayo dapat today since we have a recollection po later.
Kasi nakita, di ba tapusin ko lang kahit na yung corporate valuation lang.
Sige sir. Okay po.
Tapos send ko na lang sa inyo yung ibang materials. Kasi
Yes.
nakita ko yung schedule ninyo na available naman kayo ng 7 to 8:30. Kaya sabi ko, sayang yung time. So,
May recollection po kami today, sir.
pero 8:30 pa, di ba?
8 po, sir. Yung call time po namin.
Sige, di ba? Yan ako na lang. Tapusin ko lang siya para magkaroon lang tayo ng recap. And
Apo.
then yung corporate valuation. And then the exercises with the answers, ibibigay ko lang sa inyo. Kasi hindi
Yes.
ako pag-recording because of my voice. Masakit pa rin nalalamunan ko. Kaya lang worried ako sa inyo. Kasi nga, the quiz will be coming in this, I think it's Friday or Saturday, di ba? And then next week kasi class, wala ako because of the conference in Cebu. But anyway, I have videos for risk and return at saka yung working capital management. And then when I returned, di-discuss lang natin yung mga exercises. But I have videos, no? I have videos for risk and return, the second to the last topic, and the working capital management, which is the last topic. So lahat ng yon ibibigay ko sa inyo, video na lang, ha? Okay lang ba yon? Kasi nasa conference kami nila Sir Ligan, no? Nila Sir Dalimot ninyo, sila Sir Richmond. But I will be sending the videos for the risk and return and working capital management. So I hope you watch it, and then the materials, the exercises, we will discuss them, no? ng synchronous. Okay? Sige, to go on. Sorry for that kasi kailangan natin malaman, baka mamaya ano tayo rito, lalo na to valuation medyo mahirap, no? Then we have the constant growth stock. Now, when we see constant growth stock, meaning there's a growth, a portion of the net income is retained, no, by the company. So kung may net income tayo, a portion of which goes to the dividends and a portion of which goes to the retained earnings of the company. So anyway, yan, lahat ng yan, in-explain ko rin doon sa video, no? So the formula for the constant growth is D1. Again, the D1 is the dividend after 1 year. And then you have the case of E minus G. But there is a condition in this one, ano, for the constant growth stock. Dapat yung case of E ninyo, no, yung case of E natin dito, ito, should be greater than G. That is one condition. Another condition is that the G should be constant. Okay, so that is the constant growth stock. And the price of the stock, no, for the constant growth, ito, mas mataas siya normally kesa dito because of the presence of the growth. Now, the third one would be the variable growth model, no? So, ano naman yung variable growth model na to? Yung variable growth model na to, lumalabas yan pagka bago lang yung company, and then the company is very successful in introducing the product or the service. So we can expect that the growth during its early years will be at super growth. Matataas yung rate. No? Mataas yung rate in short. So yung formula natin dyan, meron tayong D1 all over 1 plus case of E raised to positive 1. Or if you want, no, pwede naman D1 times 1 plus case of E negative 1 kung nandito tayo sa itaas din. But if it is under, positive yan lalabas, no? Then we have the D2, 1 plus case of E raised to 2 plus D3 all over 1 plus case of E raised to power 3. And then, pagdating sa year 3, after year 3 halimbawa, no? Let's say lang after year 3, the company now will have a constant growth. Pagka may constant growth na yun, stop na tayo ron, and then we will have the terminal value, no, of the stock. So the formula for that is P3 kasi nag-stop tayo sa D3. So P3 is equivalent to D4 all over case of E minus G. So if you want, no, you can use also this formula. So yan ay magiging P3 plus 1 plus G then raised to 3 kasi 3 tayo rito, no? So we will get the present values and then we get now the price of the stock at year 0. So that is for the variable growth, no? So anyway, I was able to discuss this in the video with the examples, okay? Kaya lang nag-stop kasi ako dito. Kasi I used the video of other schools and we were not discussing this na corporate valuation model. So kailangan sa inyo i-discuss ko kasi kailangan sa inyo to, part 2 ng inyong lesson, no? So now let's go to the corporate valuation model. So in corporate valuation model, actually, it is very useful, no? If the company is not declaring dividends. Because not all companies are declaring dividends. So if the company is not declaring dividends, then you can use this corporate valuation model. So the reason why they are using the free cash flow, no? To compute for the value of the stock of the company. So again, this is used especially for companies that do not declare dividends. Okay, so the formula for the free cash flow would be EBIT, which is of course the earnings before interest and taxes, then times 1 minus T, then plus the depreciation minus the capital expenditure plus the change in working capital. No? When we see change in working capital, ibig sabihin nun, yung working capital in 1 year and the working capital in another year, so the difference between the two. Kaya sabi sa kanya ay change in working capital. Okay? So to give an example, no? Tapos to determine the market value of the company or the terminal value actually, so we will have the free cash flow. So parang yan yung D1 pagdating sa corporate as a dividend discount model. The free cash flow is actually the D1, and then the WACC is the weighted average cost of capital, then minus growth. Kaya para lumalabas, parang ito sa class. Parang ito rin to. No? Parang ito rin. But instead of D1, magiging free cash flow yan. Then this one is the WACC, and then minus G. So yan din actually yung pagdating dito. Okay? So let's have an application. So Barrett Industries invests a large sum of money in R&D. As a result, it retains and reinvests all of its earnings. In other words, Barrett does not pay any dividends and it has no plans to pay dividends in the near future. So wala siyang dividend, no? So a major pension fund is interested in purchasing Barrett stock, and the pension fund manager has estimated Barrett's free cash flow for the next 4 years as follows. So we have 3 million, 6 million, 10 million, and 15 million. That is, those are the cash flows. And then after the fourth year, free cash flow is projected to grow at a constant 7%. So kung makikita natin, meron tayong 7% dito na constant growth. So Barrett's WACC is 12%. Its debt and preferred stock total 60 million and 10 million shares of common stock outstanding. So what is the present value of the free cash flows projected during the next 4 years? And what is the firm's terminal value? What is the firm's total value today? And what is the estimate of Barrett's price per share? So to answer that, ayaw nang magano. Sandali, ayaw nang lumabas. Yan. So ito rin sa klasa. So nasa Word kasi masyadong mahaba pagka nasa PowerPoint. Nakikita ba, class?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, so we have the cash flows. We have the 3 million, 6, 10, and 15 million. No? So ito yun. So we are now getting the present value. So the WACC is 12%. So that's why it is 1.12, then raised to -1, then 1.12 raised to -2, 1.12 raised to -3, and then 1.12 raised to -4. So we multiply them, no, do sa mga cash flows bale. So this is actually the free cash flows. Plus, free cash flows. Dito hindi na lang tayo nag-compute ng free cash flows. But that is the free cash flows of the company. So you use again the formula na EBIT times 1 minus T plus the depreciation and amortization, then minus the capital expenditures plus the change in working capital. So ito yung bale ang nakuha. But in this problem class, hindi na pinahanap yun, no? So given na yung free cash flow. So these are the present values of all the free cash flows. No? Ito yung present value natin. So meaning that is in year 0. So the total now is 24,112,308.36. Now, what is now the firm's terminal value? So the terminal value now is using this formula, free cash flow, all over WACC minus the growth. So we can see that the end of the free cash flow is on the fourth year. Diba? So kaya meron tayo rito 15 million times 1.07. Then all over the WACC minus the growth. So we can have now that 321,000 pesos, 321 million pesos, no? So the 321 million pesos now is of course added here on the fourth year. Yan, nandyan siya. Kaya ito yung computation natin. Itong part na to class, ito yung computation niya, no? Yan ang part na yan. So we obtained 321 million, which is this one. Huh? So the present value of 321 million is 204,000, 204 million, 1,303.20. So this is raised to the -4. No? And then we will add the present value of all the cash inflows. So itong 24 million na to class, dito nang galing. So yan. No? So parang siyang corporate, parang siyang yung variable growth model din. No? Yung variable growth model. Kaya lang instead of dividends, no, they are using the free cash flow. So we have now the terminal value, which is 204 million, and then the present value for the free cash flows. So the total now is 228,113,611.50. Okay? Now, on the last part, ang tanong sa atin dito class ay, what is the estimate of Barrett's price per share? So this time, we are now valuing the stock. So in that case, nasa na siya? So we have the 228 million, ito yung bale, no? 228,113,612, which is the total firm value or the market value of the firm. And then we will minus, no, or deduct the market value of the debt and the preferred. Kasi kinukuha lang naman natin yung common stock eh. Diba? So the reason why we are deducting the debt and the preferred stock. The 60 million is given here. Asan siya? Ito. 60 million. And then we have the 10 million shares, no? So ito yung deduction natin na 60 million. So we have now the 168,113,612, which is the market value of the company. So because of that now, we can now compute for the value of the stock. So we have the 168 million, ito, then divided by 10 million, which is the number of shares of the company. Okay? So you divide that, so the 16.81, so that is the price of the stock at year 0. So that is the price of the stock at year 0. So kung halimbawa may binibentang company sa inyo, that would be the valuation of the stock. It will be 16.81 because that is the price of the stock at year 0. Okay, so I will stop here, class. Kasi may recollection kayo.